Hi there, I'm Adam Brown and welcome to this new series of videos on all things making media. I'll be making these videos
with my help.
Yes, with your help, Tiff. We'll be making these videos for students, teachers, researchers and any other lifelong learners who are interested in leveling up in our digital world. A major theme in my teaching is learning by doing, which is crucial when it comes to online content creation. It's not just about reading, listening and discussing, it's about experimenting, making and sharing. I'm not an expert, no one can be. Platforms constantly change, new ones frequently emerge, and audience expectations shift all the time. Going outside your comfort zone and getting at least semi-comfortable with the idea that you will never be fully on top of developments and that you will often get things wrong is a great step in the right direction. One day I discovered the writings of David Gauntlett, a well-known media scholar who was calling for a new and updated Media Studies 2.0 approach to teaching, researching and studying media. A key idea in Gauntlett's work that relates to this is making is connecting, which I explored in one of my very first teaching videos. You'll be able to tell in the following footage that I wasn't always all that comfortable talking in front of a camera.
And you're still not completely comfortable, are you?
Not really. But this is a handy reminder that everyone starts from somewhere, and with some time, effort and enthusiasm, you always get better.
Another really useful phrase that Gauntlett uses, and the title of one of his recent books, is making is connecting. And this really fits in with the Media Studies 2.0.
Oh my god, it's like a hostage video.
Don't start, Tiff.
I am being treated well. Please do everything they ask. I wouldn't pay that ransom.
Let's continue, shall we?
The rationale for making us connecting is really useful to think through, and that's been republished in his recent Kindle book, which we can have a look at now. Gauntlett writes that it is through the process of making that we make new connections between our materials, creating new expressive things. Gauntlett also writes that by making things, we also make connections with each other by sharing what we've made, and contributing to our relationships by sharing the meanings which we've created, individually or in collaboration. And Gauntlett also writes that it is through making things and sharing them with others that we feel a greater connection with the world and more engaged with being more active in the environment rather than sitting back and watching.
Of course, as I began to bring more and more people into my media to offer different voices and perspectives, I soon realised that actually interviewing David himself would be far better than reading bits of his books out. So about 10 years ago, I started trying to contact David. But I never heard back.
Hang on, I don't remember that.
As time passed, while I kept learning by doing with videos, podcasts, live broadcasts and more, I never got a response.
What the?
I sent countless letters, weekly emails, daily tweets, and left voicemail messages in the middle of the night.
I have a very particular set of skills. Skills that I have acquired over a very long career. I will find you. And I will film you.
Oh, that's not weird at all.
And then finally, in early 2021, after David had moved to Canada and taken up a position as research chair in creative innovation and leadership at Ryerson University, he finally got back to me and agreed to record a conversation on Zoom.
I bet he's regretting that decision by now.
So after almost a decade-long wait, here is my brand new segment with Professor David Gauntlett. And today I'm talking to none other than David Gauntlett. Thank you very much for having a chat with me, David.
Hi, Adam. It's nice to be here.
Apologies to David, we are completely out of time.
You can't do that.
Stay out of this, Tiff.
No, I think it's best I take over, Adam. Here's a bit more from David to highlight exactly why he's such a great person to hear from when it comes to the subject of people making media.
I wonder, first of all, if I can get you to talk a little bit about your story, how you've come to be here today.
Well, I don't know if you really want that. It's my 50th birthday in 2021, so I've been around for a while. I started off, my background was in sociology, so I did a degree in sociology. I did an MA in women's studies and sociology because I really liked all the gender stuff in my first degree. Then I moved into doing a PhD that was in a school of communication studies and developed my interest in media much more. But back in those days, I was interested in what we called audiences. And at that point, it was exciting to talk, relatively exciting, to talk about users of media, sort of creatively making use of the resources available to them. And that seemed like the exciting space to be in. But the resources available to them, of course, were not really things they were making themselves. They were mainstream popular media, and they might have been doing, you know, interesting, fanish things with those resources. But that seemed kind of cutting edge at the time. Nowadays, I kind of think that's not interesting at all, because the exciting thing is not to be using stuff made by the existing big elites, but to be making your own stuff, which is my creativity theme I have these days. But I realized that quite early on, because about like in 2000, 20 years ago, I edited a book called Web Studies, which was the first book for kind of media and communications students about the internet. And it says in it there, so, to blow my own trumpet for noticing, but it's a really obvious thing to notice. But I noticed that the interesting thing that this wheeled in was this opportunity for people to be making media now. Before that, media studies and all of that was about studying media made by some other people who lived in this sort of inaccessible realm elsewhere, which some students would maybe get into one day, many of them wouldn't. And it just seemed like a very far away place that was making this media stuff. And suddenly, when the internet came along, it meant that everybody was able to be making things and having a voice and engaging in conversations. Not in exactly the same way as if you were making Hollywood movies seen by millions, but still active, creative, interesting. So then that became my interest. And all along, I've just been becoming more and more about creativity, people having a voice, expressing themselves, developing a creative identity, all that kind of thing. And it means I've been getting further and further away from the old style media audiences, where audiences are positioned as, you know, people sitting looking at a thing made by those faraway elites, which still sort of exists, but obviously it's had to change a lot, I think.
Sincere thanks to David for helping out, and stay tuned for more great insights from him
And me!
in future videos. And thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment down below and subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with future videos. You can find more media from me via the links in the description and connect with me as Digital Zones on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok.
Please stop using TikTok, it's freaking embarrassing.
Bye for now.